Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Today is April 28th, and I want to go ahead and get started with our blended learning lesson for today. All right, so today you're going to complete some spiral review. You're going to complete your practice problems. We do have science today, and I would love to see some more of you log on to Education Galaxy or Clever to get some more practice in. All right, so for our spiral review today, still you have 5 questions that you need to answer. So let's go ahead and look at those. The first one is just like what we did yesterday, where we are deciding if we're comparing greater than, less than, or equal to. So let's look at our first number, our first problem right here, which is number 1. We are comparing 456 to 273. I put the question mark right here to let you know that you have to decide between greater than, less than, or equal to. I thought it would just be easier for you to see. Remember, you're taking your first number and you're comparing it to your second number. So is 456 greater than, less than, or equal to 273? Okay? And of course, you have the symbols right here. Remember, the less than, you can make the L with your left hand. So that's how you know. All right. So for number 2, we've stepped it up with our math problems, but I think that if some of you can remember the little trick I showed you, you should be able to answer this one. You have 420 times 10. Okay. I know this is a 3-digit times a 2-digit number, but I have faith in you guys, and I know that you can answer that. For number 3, you're taking 24 divided by 4. Let's go ahead and look at number 4. For number 4, it's a word problem, and it says there are 12 puppies in an animal shelter. 2 puppies have short hair, 4 puppies have long hair, and 6 puppies have curly hair. What fraction of the puppies have long hair? So think about all the cute little puppies in the world, and then just think about them in a group of 12, and then you have 2 with short hair, 4 with long hair, and 6 with curly hair. They want the fraction for the puppies with long hair. I'll say it again. Long hair. Okay? We come down here, and number 5 says Ryan was born in 1977. And before anybody asks, that was way before Miss Washington was born, so no, not close. He's not close to my age at all. Just to give you a little hint, I was not born anywhere near 1977, because I know some of you are probably thinking that. How old was he in 2001? 2001. Not 2011. This is 2001. Okay? So Ryan was born in 1977. How old was he in 2001? Oops. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Now, I want to spend a little extra time going over this. I was very proud of your hard work yesterday, but I saw some mistakes. So I want for us to go back, and I really want for us to focus in on how to solve these problems. So I went back, and I feel like I wanted to make a different kind of chart, like make it sort of a flow chart for everyone to see exactly how to solve these problems. Because if you don't realize it and you think that you're just writing them, you will not solve them right. So hopefully this will help some of you solve these problems today. All right. So I just took a problem that you had yesterday so you can see what it should look like. So let's go ahead and look at the problem. We have 3/100 plus 6/10. Okay? What do you notice about these denominators? The first thing that I see is they are not the same number at all. So to make this easier on ourselves, we want our fraction denominators to be the same, okay? We have to take our 10th and we need to make it 100th. Okay, so step number 1, you want both fractions to have the same denominator. So to do that, you have to take your fraction that is the tenths and you have to change it to 100. How can you do that? 10 times what will give you 100? If you said 10, you are correct. Okay? So we start up here, and I said you want both fractions to have the same denominator. So that means that you will change the fraction with the denominator to 10 to 100. So then we come here. 10 times what will give you 100? 10. So let's go ahead and come this way, and let's go ahead and focus in on our fraction that has a 10 as a denominator already. Remember we said that 10 times 10 gives us a 100, so I just put my fraction and I wrote 10 really big so you could see. This lets you know that 10 is going to be multiplied by the numerator and 10 has to be multiplied by the denominator. Okay, so 6 times 10 is what? 60. 10 times 10 is what? 100. So now both of your fractions have the same denominator. Now you can add them together. So we bring down our fraction that already had 100 as a denominator, which was the first one. And now we add it to our second one. So we look at this. Our denominators are not going to change. It's still going to be 100. It's been 100 right now. It's going to be 100 over here. We are going to add our numerators. 3 plus 60 equals 63. So your final answer is 63 100ths. Okay? I think breaking it, at least I hope breaking it down like this will help some of you who had some issues or some comments and questions and concerns about it yesterday. But as always, if you're still confused, just let me know, okay? All right, so today you have your problems. I would love for you to solve these 3 problems right here. As you can see, the first one, you're going to be changing this first one right here. You're going to change this one right here. And you're going to change this one right here. Focus in on the ones that have the 10 as the denominator already. Okay? So 2 tenths plus 15 100ths is your first one. 7 tenths plus 19 100ths is your second one. And 26 100ths plus 4 tenths is your third one. Alright, I have included a video on how to do this. So if you're still confused, please watch the video, or you can always text me or Class Dojo me. And remember, I want to see all of your beautiful work. You can submit it to me, Class Dojo, or text message. Alright, so we are going to do a little science for today. That was my drum roll, even though it sounded really bad, but I tried to give it a little. Alright, so for science today, we're going to be focusing on speed and collision. So, demonstrate using any objects in your home what might happen when 2 objects collide. Draw a picture to show what you observed. Why do you think this occurred? I want you to think back to when we were in school and we did the marble and the ruler experiment on the desk. I want you to think about that. So anything with your parents' permission, of course, or whoever you live with, do not just start taking stuff from around the house, okay? Get their permission. Maybe y'all can even work on it together. Get their permission to do it. And I want you to see what happens when 2 things collide, okay? So think about the speed of one thing, think about the speed of the other, and what happens when they collide. Remember, collision is when 2 things are hitting each other, okay? So to give you a little extra science help, I've included a speed video and a collision video to help you out. Alright, remember, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Remember, you are loved, you are missed, you are important. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I can't wait to see your work. Bye, everybody.